What's up, everybody? Welcome to the GameOverGreggy show. I am one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the seducer/producer, Nick Scarpino.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing well, thanks.
Yeah, you having fun? We'll see how the night goes. All right. Over there, the pure one, Tim Gettys.
Let Tim host. This is the good one. I was telling him last week that this was going to be the good one.
This is going to be the good one. Are you excited for what's happening?
Very, very excited.
Okay. Over here is the empty chair for Colin Moriarty. He's coming as fast as he can.
He's in an Uber cab right now.
He is in an Uber cab trying to get here. He doesn't know. No. This is Christine, everybody.
Hi.
Her name is Christine Lakin.
Hi, I'm Christine Lakin.
You are currently famous.
It sounded like an AA start.
I have something to confess. It's been rough. Currently, you star as Jane in The Walking Dead from Telltale Games. Season 2. It's amazing. Everybody should be playing that. You're also on Family Guy.
I am.
Who are you there?
I play the I played the illustrious newscaster, Joyce Kinney.
Right,
Oh, that's
right.
fun.
Now, here's the question for Nick and Tim.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I gave you none of that information coming into
zero.
this. Has it dawned on you who she is yet? We've gone through 2 voice acting roles. She's been in a number of films.
Thank you, sure. That doesn't help you actually.
No, that doesn't help you at all.
But it's fun to watch you figure it out.
Right.
It's fun to see the confusion in your eyes.
See,
Because I have my
everyone
phone in my hand right now. And
for
I'm just
everyone,
like,
the enjoyment will have to be like
don't
watching
make an app for that
their
yet.
face light up. You probably know her from her 7 years on the hit sitcom Step by Step when she was Al.
I never watched it myself.
What?
I'm stupid, and I only watched like 3 shows. If it's not Boy Meets World, I wasn't there.
You know what I'm talking about.
I do know
here.
what you're talking about.
I was blown away that Al was coming to IGN today.
no idea who
Then
I am.
Al's coming to my house. Oh, no, Nick knows. Nick and I are old. Tim's
I
24.
do. Sorry.
You have to remember though, I try to forget most of my childhood because I lived as a obese child when I was younger. So anything not like before 22, I choose not to remember in my life. Sorry.
Now, you can try to cover it
Helping.
up. If you remember 2 weeks ago on the GameOverGreggy show, we talked about the hit sitcom Step by Step.
Yes.
And what was basically said is, oh man, those girls got so hot when they got older.
Yes.
That's on footage. I showed her that clip.
I saw it.
This is awesome. I like this a lot.
Which, by the way, thank you. Oh God, it's hard being me. No, thank you. But I do think it's quite funny that people, I've seen things like this before, and people are like, "Oh yeah, do you remember the girls on that show? Yeah." And then the one got hot. The one you didn't expect to get hot got hot, and I'm always like, "Thank you."
Now, you can
Now
understand.
I have to look it up.
They typecast you in. You were the tomboy.
Yes,
you had the backwards hats. You
Right.
came from the Patrick Duffy side of the relationship.
Correct.
That was the boy household.
Yeah, it's the boy household.
That's why I don't think anybody was expecting great things from you. The
well,
other
that's
side were the
true.
pretty princess girls.
Right.
Right?
So they were already starting at the top.
Exactly.
I
I
mean, there was nowhere to go,
Yeah.
But
You started from the bottom.
Now you're here.
Now you're here.
I don't know. I'm sorry if that's not a step up. I'm not sure. Getting here with us in the spare bedroom. So I have a million questions about Step by Step.
Okay, go for it.
How did this begin for you? Like, you knew from an early age, obviously, you're going to be an actor.
You know, I was that kid that was doing like plays on the mantle of the fireplace, like when I was 2-3 years old.
I'm
yeah,
familiar with that.
Yeah. So I was putting on productions.
I don't know
of-
Step by Step, but I'm familiar with
familiar with the
mantle
fireplace.
place.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fireplace mantle. So I was, I was doing like productions of Annie, and I was like, so yeah. I think my parents always knew like that was going to be the case for me.
Yeah.
Or the curse for me. So we moved to Atlanta, and I was doing like theater, and then I sort of fell into doing
Oh my
like
God, you were,
random
like,
local commercials.
12
and-
when you did this.
But she
How
grew
young
up.
were you when you started the show?
Yeah, it was 1991. So if you want to do the math.
Well, you don't have to. Yeah.
I was
She was
12.
young, man.
Oh my
I
God,
was
you were
12.
so young. Of course I did. I
Yeah.
mean, that's the thing. That's the hard thing is because you're a fully grown, beautiful woman now.
Well, thank you. Yes.
Yes.
I was 2.
You were 2?
2 years old.
Oh, you were
This
2
is
years old.
Really,
2
that's
years old.
You're the
I'll
worst
drink
kind
to
of-
I am
that.
the worst person, guys.
So you're in Atlanta.
I'm in Atlanta.
That's
right.
where you're from.
We moved there when I was 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just because of the acting?
No, but my dad
Okay.
was just moving around. Yeah.
Okay.
And randomly, that's kind of where like the theater started to happen,
Gotcha,
the dance
gotcha.
classes, and so I was doing like local commercials and stuff. I was down in doing theater in like random South Georgia, and an agent from LA was there with her family.
Yeah.
She came up to my mom and was like, I think your daughter's really talented. I don't know if you're ever going to come to LA, but if you do, like, look me up. My mom was kind of like, thanks. That's not really the goal.
We're happy in
Because-
Atlanta, Georgia, the home of Coca-Cola.
Yeah, we're good with that. So about a year later, my mom took me out for like a mother-daughter trip. And she was kind of like, this might be fun. We'll do some auditions, whatever, write the trip off. And I put together like a tape and, had an agent who I met, and they were like, all right, if anything's right, we'll send you out for it. And like 2 months later, we got this call. They were looking for this kid. They couldn't find this role. and they'd seen my tape and they wanted us to like fly ourselves out. And my dad, I come home and I'm like 11 years old and my dad's like, he's like, kiddo, they want to fly you out. Or they want us to fly out for the thing. And I remember being like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Flying across no, I got things. I gotta dissect a frog. I'm taking care of a friend's dog. I got a life. Like, it was very funny. But he was like, very supportive of me, and we came out and did this audition, and I got the job, and it like went for a long time. So
in the beginning,
it's one of those very weird stories.
Of course, you understand. Obviously, do you live in LA now?
Yeah,
currently. So you understand how much of a ridiculous story that is that you just told me.
Oh, absolutely.
And there's probably a lot of actors that watch our show, maybe one or two at least, that are like,
it's Rosenbaum. Rosenbaum's the only one who watches the show.
I had to wait till I got Smallville.
But it's like it's different for every actor, and that happens a lot throughout your career. You know what I'm saying? There are like waves of that kind of stuff where you're just like, yeah, I just auditioned for this role and it turned out to be like one of the greatest things that ever happened to me. Or like, I always wanted to play this and then I finally got to. Or,
Yeah.
You see
but it's not like
Neil Patrick Harris. You've seen that happen for him like 15 times.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
He's like the
The
comeback
kid
kid
can't
at
lose.
this point. But then you have things like Ryan Reynolds. He's like on two guys, two guys, a girl, and a pizza
place.
Excuse me, Boltneck the movie? Thank you. We were in that together, and if you haven't seen it, check it out on Amazon, would you?
That's what launched both of your careers.
I'll start streaming that right now.
Boltneck for him. Me, I think it put me down.
Okay, it was actually a step down for you.
Yeah, step down.
That's insane though, because it's very seldom that you get a show, and not only do you get a show, but you get a show that goes 7 years.
Yeah, especially like nowadays. I mean, nothing goes 7 years.
No.
But
Lost.
Only
went, what, 5 years?
Yeah, maybe not even
6
that.
Why am I looking at you?
I don't know anything, guys. Why do you have me here?
You talk about YouTube.
Sweet. Just
I'm
sit
sorry.
up there and
I
be
try to be
sweet.
sweet.
He tells us YouTube videos we need to watch.
Yeah, exactly.
Twerking videos mostly.
I like twerk videos.
My God, that's insane.
So, my next question then.
Okay.
You go there. How long do you think it's going to last?
Oh my God! Like I'm there for a week and a half to do the pilot. And then when you do the pilot and you wait 3 months and like they pick up like a handful of the shows.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like slim pickings. I remember Stacey Keenan's mom was standing outside and she like looks at my mom and she's like, "Don't get too attached. Most of these things don't get picked up." And she like walked inside and my mom was like, "Oh God.
What have we done? Back to Atlanta."
But I was like, of course we had no expectation
Sure.
of that. So when it happened, it was kind of like, oh, shit. What are we gonna do? Where are we gonna live?
Yeah.
And my parents, like, I have to say, I mean, my parents are just very, unbelievably supportive of me, and like I'm the only one, so they kind of like helped me like fulfill.
So did everybody move? Or
did they move out there with you?
Mom moved out with me. We had an apartment there. I went to a high school in Atlanta. I went back like once a month.
You had to be the coolest kid.
God, you were so cool.
You would think. No, I mean, imagine being in 7th grade at the height of like TGIF. That's when most kids are really getting in the groove of watching it.
Yes.
But you're younger than me, obviously. But okay, don't say it. How young are you?
I'm 31.
Yeah. Okay. So. Yeah. You were in what grade when you were watching? Fourth?
Oh, Jesus.
Grade?
I don't know.
Third grade?
If TGIF was such a staple.
Third grade.
Of everything.
Fourth,
sure,
yeah,
I'll give you that. I'll give you whatever you want.
Friday nights, sleepovers.
Friday nights, what we did.
Oh
my God, you know my life. Friday nights, we would pick up.
I lived your life. I was living that life. I know.
Let's back up for a second and let's talk about the TGIF lineup.
Okay.
Can you bring us through what was on? Do you remember?
Sure.
Do you guys remember what it was?
Full House,
right?
Family Matters, Step by Step, Perfect Strangers, and then at one point it was Boy Meets World.
Yeah, Boy Meets World's in there. Yes.
There was a Going Places.
That's like the dream team of television.
Right. That's why everyone's lives revolved around it.
Yeah.
We'll see you next week. When they'd say goodbye to you on TGIF,
right?
it was like,
and then there would be the things in between where like a family would be hosting the TGIF. It's like, hi, welcome back. We're just watching everyone's shows. Which, when you think about it, is so weird. Like, why are the Winslows watching us? Why are we watching the Winslows? Like, what are we doing?
When I was watching those shows, when I was younger, much younger,
so much younger.
I thought, we thought you all hung out together and you shot, like, I used to think and fantasize that you guys shot on, like, the same lot. Where it was like the sets were like back to back and you always saw each other. Shut up, you're blowing my mind right now.
Yeah,
when I Googled image search, there was a picture of you in Topanga, like just chilling. And I was like, holy
really?
Shit.
Okay, see now this makes sense to me. How's Topanga?
Tim just got in the game right now.
Yeah.
All right, listen. So yeah, when we were like, we met, I was like 15 and I think she was like
Perfect
13,
days, yes.
right? So we would all like, of course we all knew each other to a degree because, I didn't go to school out in LA.
Yeah.
So on the weekends, I'm literally like, not that I don't have any friends. You know what I'm saying? So my mom was always like, let's get involved.
Let's get involved.
Let's do things here in LA. La La Land.
But this is my favorite. You need something to do? Let's get involved.
Yeah.
So we did. I did a lot of charity work, and it was amazing and awesome. And I worked with, 4 or 5 different charities. And the other great thing about it was, so did a lot of these other kids. So we all met each other doing this stuff. And that was just kind of like our social circle, which is weird.
Awesome.
Yeah. However.
Here we go.
Yeah. This is the real dirt. So at one point, Andrew Keegan was on our show. Don't know if you remember him.
Give me more than that.
If you're a girl, you would totally remember him.
Sure.
Yeah. It was like Bop magazine, yeah.
Okay. Oh,
so he played my boyfriend on the show, and then I think at one point he played someone on Boy Meets World. Anyway,
crossover.
Come to find over, he was on every show in the 90s. And
Slut.
apparently, slut.
90s slut.
But we went out a couple times after the show, and I remember being like, "Oh my god, I'm totally dating Andrew Keegan." And then I find out everyone else had dated Andrew Keegan.
Yeah.
But Danielle and I laugh about that now. We're like, remember the days when we would fight over Andrew Keegan?
Yeah.
And then I saw her at this Christmas party,
God,
and he walked in of all people. He walked in, and I was like, ah! So we got this picture of all of us together.
Hot
he was always the douche, though.
Yes.
He was always a douche.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, totally. And he's such a nice guy.
Doesn't sound like it. Sounds like he broke your heart.
Sounds like he's a little bit of a lovable
and I'm not
boy.
about that. Not about that one bit.
So I'll ask the question that Tim's died to ask
Okay.
right now. Do you still hang out with Topanga?
Yeah, I just saw her recently.
I love everything
Yeah,
about
I saw her
this.
at Christmas.
This is good.
Yeah.
And she's on, and they're doing the show, right?
Yeah.
A
She's
little
on
behind
Girl
the times,
Meets
but
World,
she's on
yeah.
Girl Meets World, right?
Yeah.
Are they going to do a step by step by step?
Oh my god.
You would be so good for that.
See,
a really
this is the
good
thing
idea.
that everything 90s is
That would
we're
be
all
We're looking
amazing.
for a Christine Lakin type to play herself.
Wait, how do we start this right now? How do we get step by step by step?
It's already on its way. I mean, that's what I'm saying.
They're
Everything
making the
90s
Saved
now.
by the Bell reunion
Right.
movie. I mean, what about that?
Everything is nostalgia right now.
I'm more
for
of a
things that
Franklin
weren't
and
that
Bash
far away.
fan. Thank you very much, Mark Paul Gosselaar.
They're not gonna do that anytime soon.
Yeah, but
That's
this
not
is
gonna
the
happen.
unauthorized version.
Yeah, I know. See, now is that the thing though? You talk about stick with me. I'm going somewhere with this. I do the walking questions a lot. Did everybody get along? In the Saved by the Bell thing, it's from Screech's
no.
point of view,
No.
and they hate nobody liked Screech or wanted to hang out with
Yeah,
Screech.
who
Right.
had the coke habit? That's what I wanted.
Jesus.
That was well documented.
Read
on
about
our show.
Hollywood.
That was well documented on our show.
Yeah, you feel like a jerk now?
No, you shouldn't.
I always feel like a jerk around you.
Yeah, that's true.
No, everyone actually. I know it sounds really cliche. We actually all did kind of get along in
Yeah.
a weird way. The girls definitely were. They were, they kind of stuck together in the beginning, and then I was in this weird place where I wasn't a teenager yet, and the girls were older.
Sure.
But then I was hanging out with the boys, the younger boys, and there was Brandon Call in the middle, who was just kind of I don't know whether I'm cool yet or whether I'm still a kid yet. So he would beat us up, and I was one of the little kids in that scenario.
That sounds like fun.
It was kind of, because he was actually kind of we would mostly side with each other and beat them up. So it actually
Alliances.
kind of worked out. Yeah,
You learned how to do
There's
that.
a lot of Street Fighter 2. I played
Yeah,
a lot of
good.
Street Fighter 2 at the
Yes.
donut shop. So that was that was the early part of my life. It was pretty rad. Yeah.
Well, your life's pretty good now too.
Yeah.
Lovely
yeah,
fiance.
definitely. Thank you.
Yeah.
Isn't I know? Isn't
I
he
like
cute?
him a lot.
He's so cute.
He's very nice. He's dressed well tonight as well.
He is.
Yeah.
Dapper
He dressed
gent.
up
Very
mostly
dapper.
for you.
Oh.
No.
It worked.
I know. He had a thing. He just
I want to come see Shot Spear. Spear.
You have.
You know what I'm
yeah,
trying to
you
say.
have to. It's really fun. Okay. Anything else you want to ask me about that time?
Everything.
I mean, yeah.
I have
exactly.
questions.
How are the names?
I have questions ranging from what was it like to work with St. Summers Patrick Duffy?
Exactly. I wanna hear that. I wanna hear
Another question is at any point during the entire 7-year run, did you guys ever play the theme from come and knock on my door, come and knock, just to mess with her, just to mess with her?
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, yeah. You have to know something. Patrick Duffy is probably the biggest jokester in Hollywood.
Yeah.
He would constantly do crazy, stupid shit. I don't know if you remember on Step by Step, but I'd forgotten this, and I guess it's rerunning on the Hub. I don't get the Hub. It'd be weird if
Few
I
people
did,
get
and
the
I'd
Hub.
probably watch it just because it would feel like I was watching an old, weird home movie
Right.
for a minute, and then it would probably get old. But there were all these bed scenes between them. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And they'd be in the bed, and she'd be making lists, but she's wearing lingerie. This is on a Friday night.
Right.
Makes sense.
thought-
It set up a good home
it was
environment for
wholesome,
what I
though. It
imagine to
felt
be. That's
wholesome,
right. That's right.
And he would bring, just to break the ice and be funny, he would bring like an egg beater into the bed and a
Jesus.
wooden spoon,
Yeah.
this weird
That's
shit
kinky.
that she just
Yeah,
be there and
that's-
be
that's some
what
kinky
is that?
What are
And then
you
it
doing?
would be some crazy, just because he's just a jokester. So yeah, he did a lot of that shit to her,
That's good.
and it was really nice.
Was he
They
nice
had a
to-
really lovely relationship.
Were they nice to you guys?
Very,
Yeah.
very.
Was it the total thing of they were my surrogate
Would
parents?
you tell
and
us if they
Yes and
weren't?
no.
Yeah.
You'd probably know.
Since
I
you
think
still
I'm
have
not
quite a good career.
I'm not that good an
yeah.
actress. They were great. Like Suzanne is very much very smart, like very smart businesswoman, and you could and also very like self-deprecating and also like very real, And I think that's what always made her so appealing. She's just easy to get along with, and
she was also insanely good looking.
Yeah, and had a really good sense of humor about herself. Yeah, and it's very endearing. Yeah, and then like Patrick's, he's just like he's very dad figure. Yeah, for sure. He's invited to my wedding, and then my mom made a joke. Oh my goodness! My mom made a joke on Twitter, and she was like, "Does he want to pay for it too?" And I wrote something on Twitter. He's like, "I would love to walk you down the aisle, darling dear, but I will not be paying for your wedding."
But I'll eat the cake, and that's the most important thing.
Yeah, he's great. Stacey Keenan is a lawyer now.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, at what?
Couldn't you see that coming? Though?
Yeah, I can see that. Business sense. She had the look.
Yeah.
Ice and water in her veins. Too.
Oh yes. There you go.
Yeah.
She's not like that, but she's very smart.
Yeah. This is fascinating.
Yes.
So you're growing up enjoying TGIF, but being on TGIF.
Right, which brings us back to, were you the most popular girl in 7th grade? No.
But
didn't everybody want to hang out with you?
Yeah.
Tell me how it's going to end. What's happening with Cody?
It was more like, it's weird. It was cool because I was away from Hollywood. And once the novelty of it wore off, then it was people just didn't, it just sort of wore off. And I was just this girl in school who had this weird thing, and everyone kind of was like, oh yeah, she's a celebrity, just don't worry about it. Which was actually really nice. But in the beginning it was weird because I was new at the school, and I also was a lot of how often do you go to California? Do you like California? Is Patrick Duffy your real dad? How much money do you make? It was these crazy questions. I was like, I don't know.
Kind of like this show.
I'm just trying to get
the last 20 minutes of your life.
Yeah.
Hey, sir. Hey, it's Colin. Everybody.
Hey.
This is Colin.
Hola. How's it going? No, you have to slither.
Oh yeah.
You're fine.
No, we decided you have to slither.
No,
go around. You're fine. Go around. Colin, this is Christine.
Nice to meet you.
How are you? Nice to meet you.
Big fan.
thank you. Greg sprang it on us, and we're like,
I'm sorry I'm late.
It's fine.
I took it personally.
I had a... Oh, Jesus, I just got caught up.
Happens.
If you know, he kept this secret from me. If you told me that, I just would have abandoned the meeting.
I told you it was a big deal. You should have come.
I know. I had this thing. I gotta fix this. I had this whole thing set up with an old friend of ours. Today, so I had to attend to that.
Okay.
I'm gonna go get a drink of water.
You don't have time.
No time. Okay, I'm sorry.
Christine's only here for this topic.
Oh, okay. I'm so.
Yeah.
I'm so
but
sorry.
I can say a little.
No, you can't. You have a dinner reservation.
I know, but
it's very
good.
important.
We're good for a moment.
It's very important.
This is so. How did this?
She's in The Walking Dead, the video game.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She's a voice actor. She's on Family Guy as well.
I am.
Oh, okay.
She went on to be an important person.
Not really, but thank you for saying that.
No, I'll keep saying it. Don't worry.
Okay.
That's cool. I had no idea.
No, thanks.
I had no idea that you were in the The Walking Dead season 2. Or the,
yeah.
Oh, okay, I haven't played it yet.
Yeah, exactly. We won't spoil anything for you.
Okay, well, call me when you do.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I wait till all the episodes come out and then I play.
Yeah, okay.
Colin's very particular about his games.
I see.
And his TV, though. So he knows the TGIF lineup well.
Oh, yeah.
He knows step by step well.
Do you want to talk at all? Because a lot of people like to mention this, and I think it's a fun fact.
You're amazing.
Real quick, I enjoy, hey, you guys aren't asking the good questions. Here's one. Here's the answer to one.
Way to steer the interview. It's perfect.
The waves at the end.
Yeah. Oh, my God. The worst green screen of all time?
That's so
waves
bad.
Like that? Right, yeah.
Yep.
Do you know what it was covering? The parking lot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's Magic Mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
That's
And fun fact, random fact, 57.
I wish we had 2-3 hours to talk about step by step.
You missed the
I have
bulk
so
of it. We
many
talked about
questions.
Suzanne Summers and Patrick Duffy in bed together and all the
Yeah.
crazy
I missed
kinky
all of it.
stuff
I'm
you
so
used to
sorry
say.
I missed it.
You can watch the episode.
Step
It'll be
by
live
step, I
on
will.
Give us the
YouTube.com
view.
/GameOverGreggy.
Step by Step was such a formidable, important show in my life.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. There was the Al got a bra, Al stuffs a bra, Al almost gets date raped.
Damn, I don't remember that
Al does
serious
marijuana.
episode.
I had a lot of the very special episodes.
Good.
Well, you were the one coming of age. The older girls were already of age.
They were already.
One was smart, one was dumb. I mean,
Someone
in
had to have
in
an up
character.
trajectory.
Yeah. Someone had to play between those lines. What's happening? Who knows what that?
Oh man!
And
But
I was just saying, who do you voice in Family Guy? Because I feel like I can.
I'm
hear
Joyce
it.
Kinney. Yes.
Okay.
Newscaster.
Yeah, I can. I was gonna say I can hear that's ringing lots of bells for me.
Yeah.
Very cool. This
And
is very
other
cool.
sundry random people, when they need the cutaways that are fat woman. slightly fatter woman. Sure, standard, or annoying girl, very annoying girl. Like
Do you? So you've worked with Seth?
Yes.
Closely, or
yeah.
So he's there.
He's
to
just like, get in here,
guys.
woman, and do this voice
I just
for another woman.
Because Family Guy's been going for so long that it's one of those things like
when
this
I
even show up to set or to the recording booth anymore.
I started there like 3 years ago, maybe 4. It started just me like filling in at table reads, and he had seen. This is one of those weird stories when I talk about waves of someone's career.
Yeah.
So I was doing theater in Atlanta. Again,
always with this Atlanta connection.
I'm sorry, I was doing theater in LA. I was doing it up at the Getty.
Forget about Atlanta.
But again, like just doing it because I loved it. And my friend brought him. He used to like come into her bar all the time, and he saw the show and loved it. It's a really cool theater company in Los Angeles. We do a lot of like Shakespeare, popular music, nerdy theater stuff. And anyway, he loved it, and like randomly came up and was like, "Hey, if we ever sometimes we do table reads, you should come sometime."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah,
great.
great.
How about tomorrow?"
Let's do this.
Random, and then like it was months went by, and then I got a random phone call that was like, "Hey, this is the casting director of Family Guy. I know you don't know me. Is there any way you could come in like today in like half an hour and read through a script?" And I was like literally driving on Wilshire. I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, "Where is it?"
It's like the other way on Wilshire, like, motherfucker, back again.
but I mean, it just started like that, and what I think I didn't realize it was sort of an informal audition. Yeah, because they don't really do that, and I just got really lucky, and I did a couple things, and I don't know, he liked me, and so they had this role, and called me up one day, and he's like, "Lakin, I got a question for you." I'm like, "Yeah." Like in New York. I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "How do you feel about being the new newscaster?" And I was like, "I feel great about that." Yeah. I didn't know what it meant.
Like it's the right decision. It's the right choice.
Yeah. It was like that's one time. Awesome. But yeah, then it just started, and every time they call me, I'm like, "Oh God, this could be the last time," because I'm just so grateful for the job, quite frankly. And
you got a dark outlook on it.
No, I mean like not that. I'm just so grateful. Like,
well, it's tough. Sure. It's a tough gig. Being an actor is probably one of the hardest jobs.
And I just never take it for granted, like how cool it is.
Right?
Yeah. We're still really making that. You get the royalties from the Hub Network every so often. I'm sure.
Oh yeah, I mean that might buy you a grape soda.
Thank you for
maybe a 6-pack. Maybe a 6-pack of grape soda. Maybe. Yeah.
All right, so I gotta utilize this time wisely. I'm so sorry that I was late again. Stop
apologizing.
Yeah.
I hate you. It's basically that.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't know if I can live with that. Did we touch on Cody?
We have not.
No, we've mentioned Cody in passing and joking senses, but never talked about Cody.
No. There were some cocaine references made.
I was just saying,
that was Nick's surprise.
Well,
let me bring you up to speed.
We don't actually know who made those references. We don't have any factual evidence behind that.
I'm just curious, and I don't want to put you on the spot, but there was some serious stuff with Cody going on.
There was some serious stuff for a while, yeah.
And was that awkward for the cast on the show? Like,
yeah,
like it was like totally.
Oh my God, totally. Like, I mean, there was like a good amount of time. It's what happened. So it was a good amount of time. Like he just didn't show up for work, and there was definitely something going on. And that's hard because you're a kid too, so nobody's really talking about it because it's also like, let's not talk about the drugs in front of the children. You know what I mean? But I was like 15 or 16. Like I'm not stupid.
I can read the paper.
So this is how little I know. So he actually had a drug problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
So my reference to that hard substance earlier in the show was incredibly insensitive.
It was incredibly insightful.
Yeah,
insightful.
I think you just understood sets in the 90s.
Well, no, I mean, that's
exactly.
that's. I mean, there's a lot of that going around LA. That's why we stay away from it, right, kids?
Yeah. That's why we stay here in San Francisco in the spare
do
bedroom making YouTube videos.
God knows no one does drugs in San Francisco. Outside Lands Festival
and if you
is
do
happening
drugs,
right over
just
there.
don't do the drugs that can kill you.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
More
exactly.
you know.
That's advice from Al. You can take to the bank.
Exactly. Yeah. So anyway, but yeah, there was some stuff, and I think there was some drugs, and there was some like fighting with the wife.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe a little bit of wife beating going on.
There might have been some wife beating.
You say it so casually.
Oh, I'm just throwing it out.
Patrick Duffy wouldn't stand for that shit.
No, definitely not.
No, it was it was
Who
pretty bad.
do we think? I'm just gonna go around the table real quick, or just whoever wants to say it first. Was the cooler dad, Patrick Duffy, or Alan Thicke?
Cooler?
I'm going with Thicke just because it's the only thing I know and I love him.
Tim, I love you. I'm putting you on the spot.
Unusually thick.
Do you?
Are you watching this?
No.
Yeah.
Is that his show? Does he have a show called Unusually Thick?
Yeah, it's on the TV Guide Network.
That's so amazing.
Wait, really?
Yeah, guys, get to know the cable television.
At
I
first
can be
I was
I can be your in. I can be your
is
in.
awesome.
Unusually Thick. That's the name of it.
That's an awkward
Can I call
name
you
for
when
a
I
show.
don't know what to watch?
Yes,
and can I just have you tell me
absolutely.
what you're watching currently?
If
And
you
then
guys don't know
we'll
what to
catch
watch,
up as
just
besties.
call me sometime. I'll give you a rundown of what's on our TiVo.
Okay. I like to FaceTime.
A lot of it's bad, and a lot of it's good.
Where does
I'm sure it's
Unusually
not-
Thick fall?
In the bad but so good
Okay.
pile.
Is his son on it a lot?
Once or twice he has been. Yeah.
Hey, somebody bought my album.
Where does that rank? So my wife just recently got into this show called The Real Housewives of Melbourne,
Oh yeah.
which
that's
is the
new one.
Australian one.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah.
I watched the Beverly Hills. I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
Have you ever bumped into any of those women?
Oh yes, I saw Lisa Vanderpump at the.
Yes. Oh, she's so good looking. Sorry, I have a huge crush on her.
Do you really?
Just because I hope I aged that perfectly.
Oh my gosh, she's gorgeous,
Flawless.
isn't she?
She is gorgeous.
I don't
I have
know
no
what
idea what
kind
we're
of
talking
shading is going on up in here, but it is intense. It looks good on
Couple
camera.
needles and some lasers. It's not a big deal. You
Yeah.
just get a little bit of work
Just
done
a little
here
bit
and
here and there. Like, what are you talking about?
there. Colin's like waiting his
Colin
turn
right
to
now.
just fire off rapid fire. Okay, Colin, go. Rapid fire questions, go.
I don't even know where to begin. Like, I don't know where to end. I don't know where we would be in the middle.
You missed the
of
story
conversation.
of how she basically
Yeah, I don't wanna-
backwardly stumbled into. She was doing in Atlanta, Georgia theater, and then producers just came to see her and scooped her up and brought her.
Yeah,
to
like
LA.
vultures.
It was the easiest thing on the planet It
for
was
that for the show.
So easy.
for the show.
It's,
There are actors starving on Sunset
Yeah,
right now with signs that say "I will do VO for food," and she just
Just stumbled back. Just
fell
wait.
backward into it, came up gold.
Like a trust fall, really.
it's really
really
it's interesting that I don't know. Like
I
I
can't even talk.
I don't know where to
seen you
begin.
speechless before. This is
Smile
amazing.
this much.
Because I love Step by Step. Don't you understand? Like I have like all these lore questions I want to ask.
Oh,
Step by Step
Lord! Question.
Is this official canon
Where
right now?
does
What
this
are we
fall on the
talking about?
step-by-step timeline when she opened the hair salon?
Yeah, that was that. Yeah, there was. I don't know. I don't know where to begin. I'm kind of curious though. Like, was doing Step by Step kind of like in retrospect and still like you were talking about being blessed to be able to work and do that kind of stuff. Like, is it still like kind of like is it a highlight of your career or is it kind of like because it's like one of those it's a corny TGIF sitcom like they all were.
Yeah.
But like I feel like it was like so important.
It's
to us as
iconic. It's
kids.
a part of like pop culture, which is definitely cool. And I think like I don't know, like when I've seen it and I've watched a little bit of it, there's part of me that doesn't cringe. I'm not like, oh God,
Yeah.
like that's crazy. It's still there's a place for it, and I think that about a lot of television. Like I grew up on TV, so there's a place for Growing Pains, yes, and there's a place for Blossom in My Heart, and there's a place for Doogie Howser, and there's a place for Wonder
okay, there's a
Years,
place
and
for
there's
Doogie
a place
Howser in
for
everyone's heart.
Friends, and I have like, and I could watch any episode of any time of the day and be like, yes, I remember this one.
When
you
the
know?
when the show was on, did you watch yourself? Did you watch every episode?
I did in the beginning, and then I kind of stopped. I would watch them eventually. It's really weird as an actor to watch yourself,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of judging that goes on,
Sure.
and you have to be careful about that. So
How so?
because sometimes we're all like judgmental about whatever, right? You like see your picture and you're like, oh my God, my hair looks horrible, or like whatever. You have like a judgment about it sometimes, and when you watch it back, sometimes like the judgment can cause you to change something that maybe is a better choice, a better emotion. Does that make sense?
No,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm yeah.
Because
I
it
see
looks a certain way.
I see it all the time when I take selfies. I'm like, no, that's
There you
rubbish.
have
I
it.
can't have that.
You can totally relate because of yourself.
Totally. No, but that's a common thing, right? Like a lot of people say, a lot of actors say they won't go see their movies or watch TV
Right.
because it's basically the equivalent to like reading the comments on a video. Like
It's the
everything, the whole game.
I don't think I've ever been so, I'm not even lying, I don't think I've ever been so emotionally destroyed as when I read comments online about
Oh yeah.
Well, the
what-
comments on
about
this video
stuff I've
can
done.
be
Like,
amazing.
and I'm not used to that because I didn't grow up like that. I didn't
Sure.
grow up with, I grew up with like Bop Magazine. Nobody could write back. Like nobody could like
Yeah.
write in and be
I
like,
love it. It's
you
Bop
fucking
Magazine.
twat, or whatever they were gonna say. And I'm like, holy shit.
Or
ow.
all the various things they want to do around you or to you. That's always
my
the
God,
worst.
it's crazy.
But that's not
I
our
welcome
audience.
those
Our
comments.
audience is going to leave awesome
me.
comments for you.
No,
I don't give a
actually
fuck
true.
if they
They're the
do or
best
they don't.
friends. That's how
We
they
have we have the best audience on the planet. It's true. It's a very true story.
Yeah, they're
Oh,
positive.
that's
They're
very
positive
nice.
people.
But to answer your question, if I see Patrick Duffy, I do, and he and Stacey Keenan were in my web series Love and Lakin. If you haven't seen it, I think you would enjoy it specifically.
I'm gonna look it up this evening.
Okay. Lakin. I'm sure you can remember that.
Yeah,
Do you want me to write it down?
No, I'll remember.
No, he's got it up. He's a vault.
He's steel trap up there.
Steel trap.
Right,
Steel
I'm
trap.
through him.
Okay.
Oh, no doubt about it. Just one more question.
Okay.
I don't want to waste too much of your time. I'm just curious if you had any input on your character, because the character evolved in a very dramatic way, I think we would say. Right?
Yeah.
From kind of a tomboy to like, more of a, like a girly girl like the sisters were. Did you have any input in it and like your character's development at all, or the writers basically just like, here's the script and this is what you're gonna do now?
I think good writers, and I think we had a lot of action for like great writers. And I think what they do is they sort of get to know you, and they write for you. They write for your voice eventually. And so a character can start out one way, and of course it did. I was like the scrappy like tomboy, like the sarcastic joke here and there. And as I evolved as a person, and they sort of got to know me and my sense of humor, they just started to write for me, and I was kind of sarcastic and kind of like off the cuff a little bit, and kind of like, can you believe it, And that I think, so yeah, I guess so. But I guess it kind of goes hand in hand too, It was a pretty warm and friendly environment. Like it was pretty like family.
When I imagined it in my mind's eye, it was the best place on the planet.
And it kind of I have to say, like I have very very fond memories.
Like it was cereal for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Like we had a woman who was Swedish, and she would like she was like our den mother, and she would lay out like she had like soup she would make for lunch, and like
I love custom soup.
I love custom
grilled
soup.
cheeses and custom soups. Yeah, it was really nice.
Well, Christine Lakin,
yeah.
Thank you so much for joining
Thanks
us.
for having me.
That's
Everyone, of
absolute
course,
pleasure.
watch Step
I'm
by
just
Step.
trying to blow your minds.
Download. I think you 120% succeeded.
I need time.
Download The Walking Dead. Follow her on Twitter. It's been up the whole time. We sell it as an audio podcast too. We get every nickel.
At Yo Lakin.
There you go. You got it. Nailed it.
Yo Lakin. That's how it came about. Okay, just explaining.
It worked. It's good.
Cool, thanks.
All right. Thank you so much. On to the next
Thanks, guys.
topic. Okay, Nick, it's time for your topic. But of course, we started the show in an interesting fashion. So as a reminder, this is the Game Over Greggy show. Every week, 4, sometimes 5 best friends get around this table.
It's 5 tonight.
There was. Now it's
No,
gone.
it was only 4.
We scared off Christine.
You had to go.
I know. If you missed it, we had Christine from Step by Step on. You need to go watch that episode. We gather on this table, each bringing a random topic of discussion for your amusement. If you like that, you get the show as an MP3 every Friday at GameOverGreggy.bandcamp.com for $1. It's the entire show, uncut for your amusement. If we aren't worth the $1 in audio form, we totally understand. Wait a couple days, and then starting on the beginning of the week, Sunday this week, but usually Monday, whatever, depending on how many topics we have, you go to youtube.com/GameOverGreggy, and each topic is broken out one by one as a topic video for your amusement. Then Friday, the whole show goes up, but you don't even have to worry about the whole show because you'll go buy the whole show on bandcamp.com. You get it there. It's all there, Tim. Mm-hmm. You buy shirts like Team Fat at districtlions.com/GameOverGreggy.
We also have a sticker.
We also have stickers and coffee mugs.
Coffee mugs.
Coffee
We'll
mugs.
get some soon.
That
I'm
sounds
getting you guys coffee mugs.
Good.
Thanks,
From the
Dad.
store. 4 of them. You can drink bourbon in it like an old man would.
Okay.
I don't know why I looked at you.
I don't know.
It's like an old man who's...
I don't even know what to say. I'm still. I don't know.
You're reeling.
You're like
You're
verklempt
reeling.
right now.
You're
literally.
reeling.
This is what verklempt looks like.
Verklempt.
Yeah.
Remember that?
No.
Is that too old for you? That's a
too
Saturday
old.
Night Live
Everything's
reference. Saturday Night Live reference. I got it, though.
Thanks, Greg.
Also, I started streaming on Twitch, twitch.tv/GameOverGreggy. You get my streams every Monday, 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you don't want to do that, I post them on youtube.com/GameOverGreggy every Saturday. So there you go. Many ways to
That's
watch.
this channel.
I know. Whoa. You like that?
Saturday content. We're grown up.
Saturday.
We're all grown up.
Well, I just want to say real quick before we even get into any topics that what a weird world we live in where you meet these people that were like random icons in your life, where whoever they are, you know, like over time that we're in a blessed kind of situation, a position where we can meet. Just it's not like, you know, you're meeting like just random people that meant something at different points in your life.
Yeah.
That's why I'm reeling right now. Because I know everything about Step by Step.
I know you do. You're the biggest Step by Step fan I know.
And we have to get it back so we can just do nothing but Step by Step Q&A for 3, 4, 5 hours. At least. Maybe just throughout the first season.
There needs to be good like day or two, like a summit.
A Step by Step summit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we
I
should
would
surprise
do it.
her now by bringing someone else in from the TGIF.
We should probably just go to her wedding and podcast from it.
I like that. Amazing. Like she's walking down the aisle right now, folks.
No, we don't. I mean, we'll just bug Patrick Duffy the entire time.
Hey, Patrick Duffy. Hey, Patrick Duffy.
Do you think you can get Patrick Duffy in this room?
I think we could.
Do you think you can get Suzanne Summers in this room?
That's getting harder.
Do you think
you start a YouTube channel though, so we got an in there.
Dave Coulier?
Dave Coulier, I can get.
Dave
Heartbeat.
Coulier and I are like homies.
See, I'll watch this show. And I need to watch this.
I can't. It's hard to believe that you watched TGIF and Boy Meets World. You did watch Boy Meets World on TGIF, or did you catch up later?
That sounds way later.
See, the problem with Step by Step was that it was, if I remember correctly, it was later in the lineup, and so I don't think I ever really made it too much.
It was 9 o'clock.
See, I was more Full House, and then I'd watch Family Matters. And then by then it was like,
That's what I was telling when she was like, yeah, pizza every Friday. Literally, that's what the Miller household did. My parents picked up Danny's Pizza on the way home, and we would sit in the kitchen, eat it, and then watch TGIF. And I mean, every fucking show on TGIF was consumed in one block.
That's
you know what I mean?
awesome.
And even if there was ones I didn't like that much, like Full House, I still watched it.
The 9:30 slot was the week slot because that was when all the shows that came and went and that were canceled.
But that wasn't that Perfect Strangers. She was saying that was like Perfect Strangers was somewhere in there.
In the beginning, so the classic lineup included Full House at 8 and then Family Matters at 8:30. But Perfect Strangers was in there first because Family Matters was, as we've talked about many times, a spinoff of Perfect Strangers. So
right,
like when it first started, it was like Full House and Perfect Strangers and all those kinds of things.
Sense.
But the classic lineup to me is Full House at 8, Family Matters at 8:30, Step by Step at 9, and then there was always some roving bullshit at 9:30, and then 2020 was on. At 10.
Damn, how do you remember that?
I mean, TGIF
because fucking TGIF was my life.
It's all we did. Yes,
That's
I remember
so
drawing
crazy.
comics, my own comics, writing my own stories, and watching it. And then,
but I don't remember when they were on. Like, I don't remember the time slots. Like, I remember vividly watching. I think it was Friday nights. I couldn't be wrong. They moved it around a bunch. Like, I would watch The X-Files and then Briscoe County Jr. Right, those were on yeah. And I was like, "This is awesome." And then they canceled Briscoe County Jr. and I was like super pissed about that. And they moved the X Files like Tuesday, or like, "Oh, the show's on its way out." That's all I remember. I don't remember what night. TGIF Friday, that makes sense. That matters. But then because I've seen Step by Step and Full House
makes sense.
Yeah.
I've seen those on syndication so much that I can't even tell you what channel they're on.
See, that's
what channel
the
were
thing
they
for me
on?
is it's like
ABC.
I feel like I missed a
ABC?
huge thing.
I would have said NBC.
Channel 7 in New York.
My age group,
Channel 7 everywhere.
Full House isn't that big of a thing in those shows because I think now those are on Nick at Night and stuff. Growing Pains, that resonates with me because of Nick at Night. You know what I mean? So I got Boy Meets World and a generation before, but I missed the Full House generation because that was during the now Nick at Night kids are watching that.
Yeah. The weird thing is that there's two things that are weird. The first thing that's weird about this, we haven't even started any tone.
I like how this is like the post-mort on Christine Lakin.
We have to have we have to have when we do the step-by-step summit, we have to have the post-mort of that as well.
If someone out there taking notes, please take notes on these points.
But the weird thing is that on like I feel old as shit because Full House is on Nick at Night, and I watch it. I'm like, why is this on Nick at Night? Like I remember Nick at Night when I was a kid being like Newhart,
I Love Lucy,
and I Love Lucy and Cotter.
My Three Sons.
Yeah, but then you think that when I was watching Newhart in 1992 on Nick at Night, well that show was 12 years old at that time, so it's like not that different, I guess is what I'm saying. But like I just don't feel like Full House is good in that really bad way because we grew up with it, but it's not a classic. Like Nick at Night used to have good shows on it, like Happy Days and All in the Family and the Jeffersons.
Those are classic.
I know, like, but there's no classics anymore. I'm watching this and it's like fucking Everybody Loves Raymond and Full House or shit like that. It's like, what is this?
Oh, Nick at Night, sure, but there are still classics that are in syndication, right? Like we watch Seinfeld all the time, so I would say that's a classic.
Sure.
That's like really but that's it.
That might be the last of it though. Like, but Seinfeld's one of those things where like you watch it, and no matter when it's on, it gets you. Like maybe not for you, Tim, because I don't know if you were a big Seinfeld fan, but like if you went through the Seinfeld generation, 3 days ago, my wife was flipping around channels and Seinfeld was on, and I was like, and it just stopped. She just stopped flipping all of a sudden. I was like, damn it, it got us. Mostly because it was about getting a new apartment, and we're all about getting a new apartment right now. It was a whole thing. But no, Greg, that was awesome and quite the surprise.
Yeah,
literally. I was awestruck there for like 5 seconds. Where
Tim's like, I don't know. I didn't watch Step by Step, and you just kind of stared for a long time.
Because my thing was like
unbelieving it.
Once I looked at
unbelievable,
and then I was like, I was like, holy crap! I looked at the picture of her. I was like, my god.
Yeah.
She looks nothing like the first picture that comes up when she was like 11.
It's funny how the years change you.
I looked at her. I was like, there's no way you were this weird tomboy because she's gorgeous. First of all, and second of all, I was just like. That broke my sensors after this week that we've all had, and it's been a very long week. That just like something in my brain popped, and I was like, I literally just went off for about 5 seconds. And Tim's like, I saw you like, you got a shucking job.
I went into panic mode.
You went into super panic mode. It was too much. It was too much.
I don't know. Like I like Tim was saying, like he's never seen me broken like that. Before. Like,
The look on your face, and I wish we could have seen it because you were behind the camera.
Yeah.
The look on your face was instant recognition, the happiness of a child mixed with utter regret for not having shown up 20 minutes early. Because I looked at the clock. You were like 20 minutes into it, and she was kind enough to give us an extra 10 minutes, which was awesome. But the look on your face was all those things. It's like when you take all the Jelly Belly beans and just cram them into your mouth. Like that's the sensation that was going through your brain. Right
I'll take your word for it, I guess.
Yeah, because you get the weird one.
I feel so. I'm glad she was cool. Like I hope that the show went on without me.
She was awesome.
Great.
I didn't want to be rude to anyone. To her.
We talked a lot about step by step, so it's there for you.
I'll have to watch it, and like we have to get her back, right? Because we have to do the step by step summit.
Yeah.
And maybe we can get some other people. I don't see why we can't have Patrick Duffy on this show.
I'm fine to do a road tour. To go to
them?
every member of
Go to-
Step by Step's house.
Go to
and interview
YouTube Space
them.
LA and get them all to come to us.
Could
we
we
could.
do like you did on Up at Noon, where with the Smallville cast, where we have the pictures
Step by step board?
Yeah,
Sure.
and we just cross them out as we go.
Can we
Yeah.
just make the TGIF board?
Yeah, we should just do a TGIF.
That's not a
board.
bad idea. That's going to be a huge board. That's going to be a wall.
Yeah.
But let me pitch this on.
That's a great idea.
And
I'm
that's
gonna make
when,
it.
That's when it's going to get... Like right now, we bring people to our house and record a show with them, and everybody's been cool so far because they come in and we're normal. We have a dog and a girlfriend walking around. When we bring them in and their photos are plastered on the wall with big X's through them, and there's like strings connecting different characters to it.
So I'm gonna throw this out at you. Did you watch The Real World or Road Rules?
Yes.
Remember when they used to do the reunion show?
Oh,
Where
yeah.
they'd do like bleachers of people that have the whole cast on there. What if we went on the road, all four of us, down to the YouTube creator space, and invited all of them to show up at the same time?
I love this. Can we just let's
not
talk
gonna-
about
we're not
it.
gonna
Can we
do
get
mics.
sitcoms? Can we get
No,
the Home
we'll
Improvement
get mics.
cast? Can we
We'll-
get
We'll get mics. It's not a big deal. We can rent mics. We can rent all this equipment. It might cost a little money. We'll figure
Dozens
that
of
out later.
mics.
But
Yes.
and I want to recreate all this majestic set that you see behind you that costs hundreds of thousands of cents.
Our real brick walls.
That's a real brick wall right there. That's real slate flown in from Nebraska. I don't know where slate comes from. But I'm into this. I'm amped on this idea.
All right, let's do it. I don't care.
I
That'd be
actually
amazing.
got excited when you started talking about it. About like
Colin doesn't
that.
get excited for anything.
We'll do
Except
we'll do that.
JRPGs and Islanders.
But I'll be honest with you, Colin. That to me will just be a practice for the Full House reunion show that we do on the GameOverGreggy show.
Oh my god! Can you imagine? Can you imagine having John Stamos' beautiful face in this?
So we probably can't get Stamos, but we can get Lori Laughlin.
Oh, we can
Probably
get
pretty
Laura
easy.
Laughlin.
Can we
no
get the
problem.
Olsen
We can
twins?
get Uncle Joey.
Then I'm in.
Dave Coulier.
We can get Dave Coulier.
We'll get Bob
Bob
Saget.
Saget.
We can get
Bob Saget.
We can
That'd be
probably
awesome.
get Bob Saget because he's by all accounts pretty cool. So he might, if we like approached him right, like we came at him correct, so to speak.
Like
You know
that.
what I mean? Like what up, B-Sag? He'd probably come.
You said that's what we probably punched
Candace
you in your
Cameron
face.
might be a little hard to get though.
Candace Cameron is so the funny story. Two funny stories. A, Candace Cameron, I'm in love with her. B,
Not so much a story as a statement. That's just a statement
B,
of your
she's
affection.
married to I think Pavel Bure,
hockey player.
who is a famous, a retired famous hockey player.
He sounds like a hockey player.
Yeah, it is.
So Colin's gotten in there. He can just talk hockey to her.
Good. So you talk hockey to her, and then she comes over on the show, or
Right.
how does this?
Talk hockey.
I'll be like, I know Pavel Bure. He was a great hockey player. I'll tweet that at her, and she'll be like, oh, that's great. Can I be on your podcast? And then we'll be like, sure, come on over to the house.
Boom, and you're going. You're off.
It's
and you're
really
running.
we don't have to overthink it.
All right.
I'm excited about this. We'll call it the TGIF lineup times 2 or version 2. I don't know which one. Which
I
one
wanna-
sounds better.
I like step by step by step.
Step by step by
I
step
wanna
is awesome. We got to get that
copyright
going.
that.
I
one.
love the idea. Instead of having the pictures that are already here, what we should do is make a wall where we put the picture
Oh,
up.
like right here on this wall.
Yeah, like when where like when they come,
never sees
when
it
we
for
get
it.
them, we put the picture up. We should actually just do
Have
that
them
for all of
autographed.
the guests we have.
This is how lame we are. Normal shows would have like headshots printed out for them to sign that we would then frame and put on the back of the wall or somewhere like on the hallway or something like that. So all other guests
Like a
that came
diner.
in got super excited that they were like, "Holy crap! I'm sitting where the Michael Rosenbaum sat,
Oh, the dog
like in that
farted.
middle chair." Did the dog fart?
Yeah. Or you
During
did.
my speech?
Yeah.
This is my
About
my
how
monologue.
to impress guests at our house.
No, it would. Yeah, that's awesome.
We should hang them all in Colin's bathroom, so that when they use the bathroom, like, oh,
No, we should hang 'em on
This
the-
is the
yeah.
bathroom you should Tyler use.
on the back of the door. Like you slam it and there's just 5 8x10s like just on the back of the door. They'll like jiggle together. That'd be amazing.